Hey, welcome back to Guys on Draft. Thank you for tuning in this week again. Fresh off of I was absent last week, but fresh off of
I think you would have added a fresh take to the. I call it the bad guys draft.
Some of those,
I don't want to say
douchebag. It was douchebag.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say.
I'm not going to lie.
Crap.
Right? Why?
Because it's just.
Here's what you got to realize, right? In this what we're doing, this media thing, you either got to be really, really, really clean, or you got to be the other side.
Or just
because if you're in the middle,
well, you can be really, really. But
douchebag is not. Is douchebag terrible?
That.
You said douchebag before,
and quite
right?
honestly, I would have mopped the floor in that one. Some of those are my moves. I'm just going to throw that out there. Some of those are.
Well, it wasn't to say.
I'm just saying they're quality D-bag moves.
You just would have said, "What would I do?" and then put that
exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Last week, as we mentioned, was the D-bag draft.
Yeah.
Speaking of D-bags, you can see Zach is not here this week.
Real D-bag move he pulled.
A real D-bag move there, Zach.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to highlight that, or should I just roll right into that?
Go for it. I mean,
he doesn't come on the boys' trip, right?
That he was
obvious,
committed to.
That he was committed to. It was going to be a beautiful bromance. He would have smelled weed, shit, and puke all weekend like we did. It would have been a fantastic weekend.
In New Orleans.
But he's going this week. I think it's him and a gaggle of girls, right? They're going to see Harry Styles.
Well, I think it would be better if it was a gaggle. I think it's just him and his girlfriend.
Would it be better if it was like a gaggle? I mean,
more understandable.
Which that is, by the way, the terminology. That is how girls migrate. They migrate in gaggles.
If you're in a group, no, I think, all right, so if I got to go on a trip with my girl, my wife, I'd rather be one-on-one than her and her friends.
Nah, because if it's her and her friends, then you have some alone time,
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, you could sneak away maybe,
Not everybody's trying to get away from their wives, though. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, you don't want to be away all the time, but you would want a little...
Yeah, I guess.
That sounds like that could have been your sixth pick for your draft last week right there.
Trying to get away from your wife. I think the main thing here is just that he shunned the boys' trip.
He did.
Road trip involved in it.
That he committed to
hightail it to California to see Mr. Harry Styles. I mean, at the very least, you got to do both trips just to restore some credibility. You got to make up for bailing on the boys and going to see Harry Styles. I mean, listen, I get that Harry Styles is a big artist, but it's a tough look. I mean, it's a tough look.
It is. That's hard to come back from. I can't wait to see what our viewers have to say in the comments this week about passing. I mean, I'd never listened to the Midnight. I didn't know who the Midnight was. It wasn't about that for me. It was about the cross country trip with the boys,
camaraderie,
hanging out, drinking some beers, some debauchery,
some team building.
Some would say you still haven't listened to the Midnight because it was more than just a couple beers. But I mean, Harry Styles. It's no judgment because I like Taylor Swift. But that's kind of how I would liken it.
You like her for a completely different reason.
That is
not
Taylor
for her
Swift.
music.
Yeah, I guess that's the equivalent.
Yeah.
What? Taylor Swift ain't. Yeah.
It's Rocky though. I mean, he's not listening to her music. He's probably got it on mute the entire time.
No. I listen to her music. I think she's a good songwriter. My daughters like her, so it's a connection piece with my daughters.
Man, we don't want no beef with the Swifties.
Yeah, the Swifties are tough. I'll kill you.
All right, so what was last week? We did the last week's draft.
Yeah.
We recapped that. All right, so I think it's time to choose orders here. And we got another 3-man show.
You want me to find a little wheel of...
In that D-bag draft, I don't know if we highlighted, but you won, which means you get to pick the... I thought the winner gets to pick the
then we went back
rotation.
to the wheel for 2 weeks. I mean, we're all over the place. What the hell are we doing?
I say you pick the draft order. I think it makes it a little bit more incentive to win.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so what we're doing today is we're doing the best seconds of all time.
Yeah, first seconds, if you want to say.
First seconds, yeah. So Can we give is there an example that somebody might not want to use on the show that
No. So I feel like
I know what it is, and just for audience.
So I think that we should let the audience understand it as the show evolves.
Okay,
Because, I don't want to take anybody's...
Yeah, we get that.
good
No
bit.
stealing thunder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Don't you think?
Fair. Yeah, hey, I'm not mad.
Hey, you're funding this shit. We're just listening to you, buddy, okay?
All right, so since it's my pick, I will pick to go. Ooh, I'm going to go second because I think it's a sweet spot in the 3-man draft.
It is a sweet spot.
Who do I want to go first? Well, Rocky admitted to having some pressure on him last week, so I'm going to let him go first again.
I get the turn.
And then you will go third in that case. We'll allow some time for you to think because I think it's tough going first, especially in this type of draft because it is very subjective and it could be whatever you want, right? I mean, pull something out of the left side of your ass and we got to accept it. Not a lot to challenge.
This one's a little bit easier for me. And so, like, the general thought of this is, these are things that aren't the first thought, right? First thing thought of, but things that are pretty damn good also.
Well, it makes sense that it would come easy for you. I mean, you are the owner of a second place chicken house behind Popeyes.
Wow.
So,
So I think he should get eradicated right there. I mean, if you like to get in line and wait a long time for subpar food made by people that may or may not
I don't know if they have a problem ringing it up, though.
poison you,
That's fair. I mean, but there is Popeyes. You do get Kool-Aid or fruit punch in a bag, and I'm not a big fan of that.
Really? Do you?
Yeah.
What is
They're
that even?
catering. I mean, I've seen them. They like have bags. It's called. You know how you get like a bag of coffee from a place?
What are they catering to?
From parties, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. But I've seen people order like a gallon. Instead of getting it in a gallon, you get it in a gallon bag.
I think a lot of places are switching to that
Yeah,
now.
it looks shitty though, huh?
It's weird.
Don't like that. And you can see through the bag.
Panera does that?
Supposedly for to be
Catering?
friend to the earth.
Who knows?
Probably not. You know how that shit works. It's probably
Hey, if I'm
cheaper.
eating Popeyes, I don't give a shit. Right? Let's put ourselves in the mind frame of the criminal here.
I've got a couple that immediately come to me, and there's a couple that I'm kind of banking that I think are number one worthy, but I'm banking that you will not
Take them
go.
early.
Yeah. So
I think there's a good chance. It's
Roll
one
the
of
dice,
those.
big guy. Roll the dice.
So I'm going to go with the one that I think is most likely to be taken by one of you guys.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go with the left hand.
That was your right.
Well, that's because I'm right-handed.
Okay.
But left hand. I
Left
think
hand is a
left
good
hand
one.
is the first.
You want to write that down
Great
on your board
second.
or your team or something? Over
Yeah.
there?
Well, I was trying to think of a name. I don't have a name yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to put. Wow, that was a weird noise.
The left hand is it's a sexy stranger, Rocky. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
My wife is left-handed. They're supposedly have higher intelligence than
Yeah.
right-handed people.
Bullshit. My brother's left-handed.
Which one?
Josh.
Oh, I think he's probably the smartest, Pasquale. Don't you think so?
Not even
Which would
close.
some-
That's
which
ridiculous that you just said
Some
that.
would also argue is probably one of the best seconds to you, right? You're the oldest, and then Josh is second.
Oh, I'm definitely smarter than Josh. That's without a
So
doubt
I'm
for
going to
sure.
say left-handed people.
Left-handed.
Well, just left hand. They can't be left-handed people.
I
I
mean,
know you're taking the whole population.
Are you saying the left-handed people? Is that? I thought you were saying
I thought
the
you were saying
left
the
hand.
left hand.
left hand. Okay, we'll go left hand. I don't know why it matters because it can't just be a left hand floating in space. There's got to be a person
No,
attached.
but you're saying that it's second to the right hand.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I thought you were going a different direction there. You do mean the population of people. The left-handed people are inferior. So you're basically starting a
Get it,
war
spit it
here.
out.
Yeah.
Left-handed people, they got to take their medicine here. I mean, you're the second best. You're the best of the. I mean, I guess there's no other hand. So it's,
Starting a laterality world, brothers.
all right, my turn. Here we go. So this is something very near and dear to my heart, but I think it's apropos. There is a number one dog in the phone game, and that's Apple. And I think the best number two is Mr. Androids right there. Android.
Son of a bitch.
See, took yours.
I thought for sure it was coming to me on the
there
turn.
you go. That's a good one, isn't it?
It is a good one.
That's a good one.
It was gonna be part of this amazing turn here. Now I gotta.
Now you
This
got to
is the
scramble.
thing, though. Like I agree. Like it's definitely clearly number two, but I don't even know if it's like 1 and 2. I think it's like 1 and like 8.
That's not true.
Like it's so far behind. It's
That
like,
it's actually that. Well, here's the problem. When you say that, right? It's not even close to being. I mean, there's more people in the world with Androids than iPhones. And number two, a lot of the technology that's in Apple phones was in Androids years ago. It's just that Apple does it a bit better. But the technology has been. I mean, Apple users are getting stuff in their phone now that Android users had like 5-6 years ago.
yeah, there's a lot of people in the world with Androids because they can't afford Apples.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's fair.
That's fair, right?
Or don't want to pay.
Yeah. Well, can't afford.
That's not true.
Guy's swinging today.
That's fine.
This
He's
is
dealing
fantastic.
with a lot.
He is. All right, brothers. I think you left me. I think this might be the easiest slam dunk of the first round. I mean, this is just
Really?
the age-old question: Coke versus Pepsi. I don't even know why it's an age-old question because Coke is far superior to Pepsi, but Pepsi is the runner-up.
I don't know if that's true.
There's a big, there's a big contingent of people that love themselves some Pepsi. I am not one of those guys. I definitely prefer the Coke. Was offered some on Bourbon Street too. Oddly enough, it was.
I think Pepsi out of a can is hard to beat. I mean, I like Coke better.
Yeah.
But out of a can, I prefer Pepsi over Coke.
Pepsi is strange in that its best vessel being served is the can of Pepsi. The bottle just doesn't hit right.
No.
Fountain Pepsi definitely doesn't hit right.
It's not. It's a little flat when compared to Coca-Cola. I'll give you that.
Those cans seem like a little sweeter, like just a little bit sweeter than Pepsi normally does.
That's fair, and you're back on the horse, my friend.
And I'm back up there. And shit, I had one. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you
it's
did.
back. All right. This is, I believe everyone will admit that this is number 2. I prefer it myself. That's the Xbox. I think PlayStation is the clear number 1.
Yeah.
There's a big, big gaming world that's pro PlayStation.
Yes.
But personally, I love the Xbox controller better.
Yeah.
I think, the functionality is probably on par. And I mean, it's a Microsoft product.
I think you get more with Xbox. And I'm on the same train with you. That was actually one of my high possibility picks there.
There we go.
So good pick.
Look at that.
What any Rocky's got nothing, huh? It's quiet as the church mouse.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, he's fine with it. So
Are you sure? Because usually you're destroying me by now.
Yeah.
Something about me being
something a little strange
inbred,
here.
Me being inbred, drinking. Sometimes you allude to my fat. You sure you're okay?
No.
Oh,
All right.
you really just pointed everything out. All right. So I have a few things written down here. Pepsi was one of them, so we'll scratch that off. Xbox was another one.
Oh, P.S. Team name is Sloppy Seconds.
Oh yeah,
and
my team name is If You Ain't First, You're Last. So here we go. I wanted to go food here, but I got some. All right, you know what? I'm just doing it.
Yeah,
I'm just doing it. I'm just rocking out with it. I mean, this is gonna be a little controversial for the older crowd, but I don't think they're watching. So I think it's gonna hit home. I'm going DC Comics.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
DC Comics. I mean, we love them,
Yeah.
but I think they're clearly in back of Marvel at this point.
Yes. I would argue that the comics themselves are not. I think DC Comics are probably, they have a better longevity and a better track record.
Older ones, yeah. Not the ones
But
today. Yeah.
Transferred onto the big screen. I mean, Marvel has just completely obliterated them. I mean, I don't even look to watch. Like, I can't even tell you the last DC superhero movie I watched.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's not fair. There's good ones. The one that Black Adam just came out is supposed to be pretty good. So, but they still are firmly behind Marvel. So, DC Comics.
I wonder if the same producers that
Is there
Marvel,
another
if
comic
they
that you
got-
could think of?
what that would go in between those two?
Yeah, I mean, just that you even think like it's so distinctly Marvel DC.
Yeah, nowadays it is. I mean, if you're going back like all time, like Archie was huge.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you could really you could dive deep into some Spawn. Spawn was and I don't think Spawn is owned. I don't think they're DC.
I think
Spawn is its own entity. It is because he was an independent comic book writer.
Nice.
Yeah, when he first came out.
All right, your turn, Rocky. I think you got a double whammy here, huh?
Yeah, I do.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I am, I think. And, the first one I would say a little bit of a setup because I think that one of the greatest, you mentioned DC, kind of set me up a little bit here.
Oh, really? Nice.
And
Good to know.
Probably the greatest DC superhero.
Yeah. Superman?
Is Batman, I would say.
Most popular, yeah.
Yeah, most popular. And he's got a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say that a second is Robin.
Robin, wow, man.
Robin.
I get the thought process. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm on board with Robin.
No. He
being a great second.
A lot of people love Robin. There's, every Halloween.
There's a lot of Robins.
Yeah, a lot of Robins. People dressed up. I saw a bunch yesterday.
I think people would argue that Alfred is probably the second there.
I mean, you could argue that if you want to. I mean, you argue, every draft you have a pick that's wrong. That would be your wrong, this one. But Robin, so I'm going to say Robin is a great second.
Okay.
Just a
hey,
wonderful
you know what?
second.
We'll let the people decide. I'm not on board with you.
So,
but I'm not going to kill it.
And then I'm going to go right to my next pick because I have that
because you have to. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this is another one, and I
idiot. Yeah. I want to see. I want to get that on camera. Please go get the cap.
Not happening.
The marker's going to dry out, buddy.
There's streaming services, right?
Okay. Yes, that's fair. That's a good one.
And
that is a real good one, Mark. Hey, good job.
Everybody, I prefer Spotify.
I think most people do.
And yet there's Apple Music. And I actually pay stupidly every month to Apple Music because my daughters bought into it. And they just announced on my phone, I got a little message saying
it's going up.
We're freaking increasing the cost.
Yeah. So you're saying that Spotify is one.
Yes.
You don't think Pandora is ahead of Apple Music?
No.
No, I mean maybe in 1998 or 2000, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean Napster was number one.
Maybe when you were still hitting the gym.
Yeah. Oh,
LimeWire.
See, he went there today. I didn't go there.
That's fine. It's all right. I mean,
it was him.
You almost put Apple Masic, but I mean,
that's right.
Whatever.
There you go. Yeah, he's a stupid.
Wait, why are you mad at me? He was the one that cut you down.
Because it's cyclical, paying it forward.
It's my turn.
Apple Music. Good.
All right, we started with Androids, DC Comics. We had that weak pick at number 2, Rob, and I
love Robin.
I get the thinking. I just don't think he holds up as a number 2.
I don't think so either.
He's the second best character in the comic of Batman?
Second best person in the... I mean, he's in the passenger seat of the
I think if
Batmobile.
anything...
You know what people in the passenger seat do?
Yeah, they blow
They
blowies.
give roadhead. I mean, you're picking somebody...
Hardcore blowies.
You're picking a superhero that's his superpower is blowing Batman when they're out fighting crime.
Wow. You know what?
It's a terrible pick.
First of all, it's 2022. That's okay if that's what he wants to do. Number 1.
All right, so my next pick is going to be another one that's probably near and dear to all of our hearts. It's a local connection here, and I think that's probably one of the biggest drivers of economy in the area, and it's the biggest tourist destination in the world is Walt Disney World, right? But who's bringing up the rear right behind them and hot in their heels? I think it's Universal Studios.
Six Flags. Universal.
Fun
Universal
Spot.
Studio. The Fun Spot.
What?
Did you just say Fun Spot?
Fun Spot. Everybody knows.
All right, shut up. Universal Studios. He's just...
I would argue Six Flags.
No. Hell no. Hell no, Six Flags.
What's
I mean,
the
they're all over
slogan?
the place.
Yeah,
There's only
they're
one
closing
Universal.
down.
What's
no,
the
there's
slogan
actually
for Fun
there's,
Spot?
there's a lot. They're overseas too. What?
What's the slogan for Fun Spot? Where
It's huge. Yeah.
You knew it, so it's...
I mean, because it's hilarious, and Fun Spot's like a town fair. Okay.
It is like a carnival. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
like that
know
you're
what?
trying to tear my picks down because that means you're worried.
Everybody
That's-
rides in a town fair. That's all
Listen,
I'm saying.
Universal Studios, and they're hot on Disney's heels. I mean, everybody knows that that's the number 2 theme park in the world. Six Flags. I used to love Six Flags in New Jersey growing up, but
Yeah? Well, Jackson Mountain
Fuck. Sorry, my marker just
again.
You guys are
But they're closing down left and right. They're selling their parks. They're a tier below.
Yeah. We're recording, right? Did
That's
we make
right.
sure? All right.
Yeah, we are recording. Idiot.
All right. So it's on me.
That's right.
All right. Let's. I guess we'll stick with this theme.
Oh, you got a theme.
Well, no, I think there's been a lot of techie type shit said so far. So I'll go. I'll keep that trend going, and I'll say Microsoft as a number 2. I think Apple at this point, we can all agree, Apple has probably taken over the dominance in that game. And I would say that Microsoft, man, you know.
So this is a solid pick.
Yeah, you know.
Solid pick.
Up your game, Windows. You know, get in there. Shit. Throw your hat back in the ring. Apple's tearing you up. All right.
Yeah,
Next.
go for it. Don't hurt yourself.
Let's think here.
I like the silences.
What's second to
Well, because, you know, like, there's a lot to choose from, and then there's not a lot to choose from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want stuff that's big, but not big.
You want stuff that everybody knows, but, you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what's second to Pornhub?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't even know if is Pornhub first.
Oh, Pornhub's first for sure. Yeah.
100%. Shit, they're almost on like daytime advertising at this
it's
point.
close.
It's getting pretty bad. All right.
You just threw off my thought process right there. I'm trying to figure out what my next pick is.
All right, I guess I'll just take the other slam dunk that's out there then.
Oh man.
And that's McDonald's is clearly number one, right? Number two's got to be Burger King in the game, in the hamburger game.
I think and historically speaking,
food,
yes.
Yeah.
I see. I don't think anymore
I
because they're
still
closing a bunch of them down.
I still think they're the biggest brand
name.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
biggest name. Probably.
if we're going quality, it's different. But yeah, I still think you have to go.
I mean, where are you going? Like fast food hamburger joints?
You go to Wendy's.
Wendy's is close. I still don't think they're Burger King, even though
When
they're
was
better.
the last time you ate at Burger King?
I don't think the Burger King big.
Not too long ago.
When was the last time you ate at Wendy's?
Not too long ago. I mean, there's one
Which is more recent?
about the same, to be
We did it the
honest.
same day. Which one did you eat for breakfast and which one did you eat for lunch?
I don't eat like you, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately. But yeah, I mean, I'll still get a Whopper. The Whopper's good. Everything else is kind of a little hit and miss, you know. And the thing is, my daughter likes Burger King burgers better than McDonald's. So whenever we're going drive-through around, they're right across the street from each other by me. So
They are
a lot of
flame
times we wind up there instead of McDonald's because of that. Good job. Good job.
I am mopping the floor over here.
I don't think you're mopping the floor. You threw me off though because I was.
Speaking of mopping the floor,
Man, this is tough.
the second biggest mop company out there.
All right, you know what? This is tough. I'm trying to
Do it. Just start some controversy.
Well, it's not even controversy. It's that this establishment I'm thinking of could be put into two categories. But it depends on which one I want to, you know, they serve two different things that they're distinctly known for. And they would both fall in different, they probably be number one in one and number two in the other. So
Gotcha.
that's where I'm like, eh. But I'll go with the one I think.
Moe's Southwestern Grill.
No. I mean, there's Starbucks and then there's Dunkin'. I'm going Dunkin'.
Yeah?
Now, there's things I like better at Dunkin',
Yes.
but there's also things I like better at Starbucks.
Correct.
And there's other coffee places I like better than both, but I just think when you think coffee in this country, you think Starbucks probably, and then Dunkin' is right behind it.
I think you're right.
The other one I was thinking of, though, was Dunkin', the donuts and Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
And that would have been enough, but I just feel like this is...
Who would you put first? You would have to put Krispy Kreme would have to be the second there.
Yeah, I think Krispy Kreme's better,
They are,
but I
believe,
think
better.
Dunkin' Donuts is the one.
They're more the brand, the
Yeah.
worldwide brand.
So Dunkin'.
That's not a bad pick. It's on
Rocky's looking up his next pick.
you. It's on you
Well,
there.
because I'm trying to decide like between a couple different types
That's
of
what you're doing.
companies. You know, like what's greatest impact.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to decide like, do I want to do?
I already got my last pick.
Well, I think I've got where I want to go, and I really have to do two in a row here, right?
That's yes.
That's how this
so-
works.
By law.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Am I going this and this? And I think I know what I'm going to do.
No, you're going number two. Just like your draft.
So I think right now what I'm going to do is,
I have some good
and I think
honorable
this is going
mentions.
to be, this might be contested a little bit, but I'm going to I'm speaking in generalities here.
Yeah, be general.
And so first,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that in generalities, rock and roll music's number one. So good second is country music.
I think you're so wrong. I think the number one music in the world right now is clearly hip hop.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I'm going to say hip hop probably will fit more into rock than country, but I'm going to say country's a good second.
It's a reach.
And then I'm going to say
that
the number one type, not even type, the number one truck in America is a Ford truck. And so Chevy trucks.
There it is.
What is?
Are number
There it is.
2.
I like the Chevy trucks pick. I don't like the country music pick.
I think they go hand in hand right there.
That is
good
true.
Job of following that up.
Some synergy.
I was waiting for the Chevy drop.
And my team is bringing up the rear. So it's second place.
Yeah, well, the way you picked, you're taking it up the rear, buddy.
Wow. Always goes gay.
Yeah, there you go. You know
You
what they
can
say
count
about
on
Mark.
he always goes gay.
I didn't.
Always
I'm
goes
just
gay.
saying.
Mark
Is it my
always-
turn again?
You got the
Mark
old
always
shaft
Is that how
there.
this works?
Yeah, that's how this works.
Okay, so
on
I'm
you.
ready. So Androids, DC Comics, Universal, Duncan, and I think I'm gonna end it with the second most popular video game character of all time, right behind Mr. Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, it's Mario.
That's bad. You're Italian.
That's why I'm making fun of it, because it's a stereotype of Italians.
So explain
Stereotypes are better than anything.
explain this. Sonic as the number 2 most recognizable.
Video game character behind Mario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would disagree.
Oh, who cares? It's not your pick.
Donkey Kong.
No, not even close.
Donkey Kong is clearly.
Sonic has a movie franchise.
So does Donkey Kong.
When?
A while ago, but
That was King Kong.
no shit. There was also,
Donkey Kong had a movie?
yeah.
What?
Cartoon movies though.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Sonic is like at the box office breaking records.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, good job.
All right, let's see. What else is there out there?
I don't know. I thought you'd be ready.
Why would you think that?
There's a lot of good ones still.
Yeah, there's some decent ones left
There's a
out there.
lot of good ones.
I think so.
Like the Mets.
That's actually was one I was trying to go. But like to me, sports are people love sports or have no interest.
That's true.
You know, so I wasn't sure.
But I
if
think
wanted to go.
there's a few clear, like the Mets, everybody knows is the second team in New York. No offense. I'm just saying it's a known thing.
Yeah,
Well, I
mean,
think you got the Mets.
Or
I
like
think,
the Chicago White Sox.
yeah, White Sox was one. I
Yeah.
think you got Chargers because Rams are definitely number one.
Jets.
Now. Yeah, Jets. Yeah.
Nets. All New York, but if you go Florida, what would you say is the...
See, Steve Nash got fired today. Jeez,
Yeah, you did.
That's crazy.
God damn, man, I'm like drawing blanks over here. I can't
I think the
even
Bucks are number 2 in Florida.
Shooting blanks too.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Bucks number 2.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Miami's
But
just more history, I think.
Jags are probably
Third.
third for
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
Bengals are second in the state of Ohio, even though more success in the Browns lately,
Yeah.
except for last night.
There's a lot of good ones with sports, a lot of easy ones.
All right.
Clippers are probably Clippers.
Let's keep this cinematic. I think the Robin to Warner Brothers Batman is probably 20th Century Fox.
Okay. That's a solid pick in the 5th round. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
better than
it's-
Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's pretty solid.
It's not bad, you know. I think Warner Brothers obviously is that's the mecca of the movie industry. And 20th Century Fox does, you know, they put out a lot of great films.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they fund a bunch of shit.
Great opening that you could put up
Yeah, it's
neck and neck
bad.
with the opening for Warner Brothers.
honorable mention. I mean, a slam dunk would have actually been like
Oral sex.
shit.
Okay.
Like literally number
Just
2.
what I was off the top of my head.
Yeah, oral sex is a clear number 2 to what?
To real sex.
Oh.
Not. I guess they pick your poison. There's
Which door
I was
are you
gonna say
knocking
Cinemax, or not? Maybe not Cinemax. Maybe
Showtime.
Showtime to HBO.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that like shows like to a certain part of the population they don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Showtime.
Yeah, you know.
People know what Showtime is.
No, they
Yeah,
do,
they don't- I
but
don't
like
think
it
they
means
get,
less.
like-
yeah,
yeah.
it means less
That-
because I was like thinking about like you could have said like you could have made a playoff blockbuster video being number one.
Okay, that's fair.
But you would lose part of the audience.
WCW was another one I thought of.
Yeah, people don't realize the struggle of like TV back then. Like it was like the four major, like the out of network, extra. It was HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, and Prism.
Right.
Like people don't realize because now they're at. Oh, you mean the Showtime app? I know what that is.
Yeah, I thought about you could say Amazon Prime right now. Greatest shipping company, greatest company you order everything from.
Yeah.
Like, that could have been number one, but then I was struggling to say, well, what's number two?
I think Amazon's a different thing. I think you go FedEx behind UPS.
Yeah.
Which probably would have been a good one.
But I don't know if it's behind anymore.
I think they're different. No, FedEx is behind UPS.
I mean, but I get
Clearly.
more delivered from FedEx. Like it's like Qatar, because like, I don't know it's that
It's still
clear.
UPS. I mean, I'll tell you, this is the way you know. When you go to try to get a job with one of them, much harder to get a job at UPS than FedEx. So UPS is the standard.
I think for search engines, behind Google, obviously,
Yahoo.
Ask Jeeves. Yeah.
No, Yahoo?
I think it's Ask Jeeves.
Is that what it is? I just think Yahoo. Bing, maybe.
Bing.
Yeah, there's a lot. Right?
There's some good ones.
There's some good ones.
Not bad.
I think we have some good. I honestly, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, I think Robin in country music, I think you lost the draft there.
I think. But you were distracted, all right?
No. I stand
Like
behind.
I think Left Hand is
I stand behind
solid
Robin.
number one overall pick.
I like Robin. I stand behind Robin.
How much?
I like Robin. I think
Yeah,
it's a good
he
pick.
told you how much.
There
he
are
stands
rumors
behind
about
him.
Robin, and
Yeah,
okay.
no,
Hey,
I stand behind
as long as
Robin.
you're comfortable with that,
I'm very comfortable.
maybe
Exceedingly
comfortable.
comfortable.
All right, so
I'm
hey,
as comfortable as Zach at his concert he's about.
I would love to have a camera to see him fangirling.
But he's dancing.
Oh yeah,
100%.
he's gonna act like
Singing.
he's not, but
Yeah,
he's
no,
there.
He's singing every song.
So let me ask you something, right? All right, so you've been to concerts with your wife, right? Obviously, you
Yeah.
with a artist that she likes, maybe attracted to.
Yeah.
Right. Now, are you the guy that, like, if he pulls her on stage, you're letting it happen, gives her a kiss, you're like on the cheek or stuff like it gets a little flirty up there?
What kind of concerts do you go to?
What do you mean?
Who pulls your woman up on stage?
A lot of guys, a lot of artists pull a woman out of the crowd, and what do you go watch? The fucking Tom Petty or some shit like that?
Yeah, I mean that'd be a great concert.
Well, I'm sure
first
I'm
off,
saying, but yeah, I'm saying a lot of.
I
I mean,
wanted
there's a
to
little.
see Tom Petty before he died.
Yeah, obviously not the like legendary artists that are like in their 80s are pulling girls on stage.
So all these new guys, like the baby's pulling your chick
well,
up there.
I'm not
and
talking about
he's-
the baby. No, I'm saying like just a guy that sings. Like Harry Styles would probably bring a girl on stage at some point.
It's never happened, to be honest with you.
To you?
Yeah, like
Oh, it's happened to it's not happened to me, but I've been at concerts where it happens.
Yeah. No, I've been at concerts, but it hasn't happened where they brought.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it a lot. But so I'm just saying, if you're in that scenario, I'm saying because Harry Styles will probably bring a girl on stage
Or a guy.
or a guy. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying in our situation because we
There's
don't
as
date.
much of a chance of Zach getting pulled on stage as
and enjoying that
All right,
watermelon
can you guys
high.
just go along with the scenario here? I'm just saying, are you the kind of guy that would be okay with that?
yeah.
I'm talking like, all right, so that last the guy we went to see at the Hard Rock, right? He pulled a girl on stage and he gave her a rose, right?
Right.
But then while he gave it to her, he like kissed her with the rose between their lips, and then they danced. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
Take her home?
Well, I
Because we
mean-
did one of these.
Well, all I'm saying is like, I'm not like that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if she runs away with him,
Yeah.
then
So here, this is
then
good.
his
so you're just
money.
saying-
Listen, his money's coming back to me.
Here's a good little story. Okay, so you're a
Drawing-
pimp. All right,
drawing
so
the line of penetration. Is that what I'm getting?
here's the little story. When we were at this concert, right? They were in the front row, this girl and the guy, and they're like getting his attention and like to tell him, oh, she has a tattoo of the guy's face on her, and the boyfriend's there like waving him down to help her out, and then he asked the guy if he can lick her tattoo, and then the husband said, yeah. Like, see, to me, I'm not. First of all, if you got a tattoo of him, we're not in the front row. That's number one.
Where was this tattoo? Was it on her cake?
I don't know. I think it was on her arm or something like that. I mean, you can't do that in the middle of a theater, Mark. You're just a hornbag, huh?
No, I'm just saying. I've seen that happen at shows too.
You just asked me what shows I'm going to, and now you seen that at a show? Shut the fuck up. All right. I'm just saying, I think Zach might have his girl pulled up on stage, and he'd be all for it. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I just wanted to see if you guys were there, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, first of all, like, I think it's fine to, find a artist attractive.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like to have a crush, all those kind of things. Yeah. I think when you start getting tattoos,
it's a little much.
Yeah, it's a little much. You know what I'm trying to say?
Like, if my wife has a tattoo of an artist, first of all, that's a red flag. Number two, not bringing you to like the first 5 rows of his concert. Yeah. Because you're not even going to care I'm there with you.
Oh, sorry, babe. They were all sold out.
Yeah, and then I'm not letting him lick your tattoo. Yeah. It's a little much.
There's boundaries. And then, like, even these couples that have, oh, well, he's my hall pass.
Yeah.
First of all.
The hall pass, well, you can stay.
First of all, you shouldn't have a hall pass.
You stay with him.
You shouldn't have a hall pass, number one. Number two.
So over under on Zach coming home with a watermelon wedge tattoo.
What would the over under be?
Do you think he's coming home with one or no?
No, I don't think so. I think he's scared of tattoos.
No, he's not.
Oh, he has a tattoo, right?
He has a ton of tattoos.
Oh, so yeah, then maybe
he's coming home with a watermelon slice.
Like 2 halves of a watermelon?
What do you think? This is probably the most likely. What do you think? How likely is it that
he wears a dress to the concert?
Well, I mean, he might. Which incantation of Harry does he dress like for the show? That's fair.
Okay.
Right? But
I think he goes masculine.
Yeah, I think he does too.
How many incantations does he have?
Do you think he drinks, goes to use a restroom, and then has to call Samara?
That's probably something.
I don't remember where we're sitting. Because we know that's happened.
I think if he's with her and her gaggle of broads, then I think probably not.
Yeah.
I think he's going to want to try to stay sober. He's not going to let loose. He's not going to let it rip, So that's our wrap up. All right, close the show out, big guy.
All right, thank you for joining in. It was great to be back again this week on the brand new set. This was our draft of the best
let's
seconds.
do this.
And let's recap them here.
That up.
Who went first? Rocky went first.
Even distracted, dealing with first world problems.
Let's not milk it too much.
Left-handed, Robin, Batman second, Apple Music, country music second to rock and roll, and Chevy trucks.
If you got to say what it's second to, I don't know if it's a great pick.
Well, no, I think you should say.
Right. If you ain't first, you're last. I think number 1 is Androids. Number 2, DC Comics. Number 3, Universal Studios. Number 4, Duncan. Number 5, Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, and
why are you looking at me like that?
Team Sloppy Seconds with Pepsi, Xbox, Microsoft, Burger King, and 20th Century Fox. Surprisingly enough, nothing sexual on there other than the name of
I'm
it.
sure you could find a way to make it sexual.
But you did say plenty of sexual things in between.
Yeah, you painted the conversation with it.
Very nice.
People will find it.
All right,
your name is the name of your team is sexual.
That's what I just said. I said other than the name of the team. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. It was great being back here on this new set. Fantastic. We are Guys on Draft. You can find us on the Guys on Network.
Guys on Podcast.
Frame, Guys on Podcast.
Yeah, we need subscribers. We need to move the needle. We're not quite to 5,000 subs. We'd like to get there. So
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
The big ones, YouTube. Get in there, like, subscribe, and
Tinder.
Help us keep
Grindr.
This stream alive.
Game one.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, you are.
Swipe right.
Obviously.
All right,
guys.
Peace.